It was just an ordinary morning in the city. People were going about their daily routines, making their way to work or school, hoping for a productive day. As they walked, some of them looked up, startled by the tall, slender silhouette of a building that shouldn't have been there. At first they thought it was a skyscraper under construction. But no, there was no scaffolding around it, no workers on the site, not even a single sound of a drill or a crane. How could such a massive structure have appeared out of nowhere? News of the strange tower quickly spread. Within hours, journalists had combed through every city record, permit, blueprint, security camera footage, all to find out how such a thing could have been built without anyone noticing. But their investigation turned up nothing. There was no mention of the tower in any official records. The security cameras pointed toward the site at various angles showed nothing but empty sky. And as the sun began to set, the glass tower remained silent, imposing and utterly unexplained. The authorities finally released a statement calling it a marketing stunt, an elaborate prank to promote a new movie or a brand. But the theory didn't hold up. Who would do something so audacious, and why? The questions only added to the mystery. So the next morning, when the sun rose over the city, revealing the tower against a clear blue sky, a group of explorers decided to venture inside. What they found was even more bizarre. All the elevators were working, their doors opened and closed as if waiting for passengers. They stepped inside. The elevator started moving upward on its own, slowly at first, then faster and faster. The glass walls offered a breathtaking view of the city, but nobody seemed to notice the scenery. Everyone was focused on the indicator, watching the numbers climb higher and higher. When the elevator finally stopped, the doors slid open, revealing an empty floor. It was vast, circular, and made of a strange black material that resembled polished metal. But that wasn't what made it truly unsettling. What made it truly unnerving was the fact that it was clearly not made for humans. There were no stairs, no handrails, no emergency exits. Only a huge, ominous sphere in the center of the room. Whoever or whatever had built this place had done so with the intention of keeping humans out, and as the explorers stood there, realizing the full extent of their isolation, the doors closed behind them, plunging them into darkness. The elevator started to move again, descending slowly, steadily, deeper and deeper. The travelers huddled together, whispering in the sudden darkness, their voices echoing unnaturally in the confined space. But as the elevator continued its slow descent, their whispers gradually faded away, replaced by a profound silence that seemed to amplify the hum of the machinery around them. The darkness was absolute, impenetrable, pressing in from all sides like a physical force. It was a darkness that swallowed sound, that muffled their breaths, that made their hearts beat just a little faster. And in that darkness their fears took shape, their imaginations running wild with images that their minds refused to accept as real. Then, just as suddenly as it had begun, the descent stopped. The elevator lurched to a halt, throwing the travelers off balance. The doors slid open, revealing a sight that chilled them to the bone. The floor they had come through was not like any they had ever seen before. It was smooth, featureless, and most unsettling of all, it was not solid. There was nothing beneath it but a dizzying drop into an abyss that seemed to stretch into infinity. The travelers stared in disbelief, their minds struggling to comprehend what their eyes were seeing. For a moment there was only silence, broken by the pounding of their hearts. Then, as if awakened from a dream, they stumbled back, desperate to put as much distance between themselves and the abyss as possible. They needed to get out, to escape the suffocating grip of the tower. But as they turned to leave, the doors behind them began to close, shutting them in with their terrifying discovery. And in the blink of an eye, the glass tower was gone, vanished without a trace, leaving behind not just unanswered questions, but a profound sense of unease that settled over the city like a shroud.